here. We're doing this. I want to welcome anybody that's new. My name is Joe. This is the Thursday Night Meditation Group. I'm glad you're here. Hope this is the place you want to be, or maybe you're forcing yourself to be. Either way, it's a good thing you're here. Anybody that's new, or if you ever need the restroom, down the hall to the right, the restrooms. There is tea in the back, I believe. We got cups. For us. And usually we start with a little arriving meditation and get into a topic, do a little bit longer of a meditation, and then there's time at the end for little questions, reflections, or just whatever needs to be done. So let's begin by just settling in, arriving, feeling your feet on the floor, maybe taking a look around the room, feeling into the body if the body needs a little stretch or movement to settle into your seat. Posture that's sustainable this next hour or so. Resting your eyes somewhere if you want to leave your eyes open, or gently closing your eyes. And just shifting your awareness from outward to inward. Noticing this moment from inside out. Maybe just with the curiosity of what you notice. Noticing thoughts, feelings, sensations in the body. Maybe there's a tingling, a throbbing, or a settling. Noticing this posture, sitting, laying down. Noticing sounds coming and going. Noticing this breath. Just breathing. Can this just be an effortless awareness right now of what is in this moment? Reminding yourself that you've arrived, you're here. There's no more effort needed to get to this moment. And can every part of you be here? Even those parts that maybe you've been trying to exile or get rid of. Repetitive thoughts, those feelings, those emotions. And can they be here but not take up too much space? We maybe not give them all the attention right now, just some. Allowing. For any thought or feeling, emotion to be here, any mood. It's okay. Then what else is here? Sounds are here. The way the body is sitting, laying down. Sensations are here. The breath is here. So we shift awareness, we shift focus just a little bit. And maybe there's a place in your direct experience right now that just feels good enough to rest. Reminding the mind, reminding those thoughts, these feelings that right now there's nowhere we need to go. Right now, in this moment, there's nothing we need to do. And right now, in this moment, there's no better you that you need to be or become. You've arrived, you're here. Softening just a little bit more. Seeing if you can soften any tension that may be left over in the belly, the chest, the face. You can guide the breath into these areas. Expand, collapse, squeeze and release. Maybe trying that on, breathing in and squeezing the eyes, the jaw, and then just release. You can breathe in and tighten the belly, and then soften on the out breath. You can breathe in and bring the shoulders up to our ears and back. And on the out breath, release. The hands, the feet, squeeze, release. Nowhere to go. Nothing to do. No one to be or become. And shifting your focus back to the breath just for a moment. Maybe doing 3 deep breaths together on the count of 3. Breathe in through our nose and out the mouth. So on 3, 1, 2, 3, slowly in and let it go. Again, slowly in, really fill up the whole body. Let it go. And on the out breath, push a little bit more at the end. Again, in. Expand, hold at the top, and let it go. Let the breath breathe natural, all by itself. Checking in with the feet, the seat, the sounds. Any shift in your experience from when you started to now. When you're ready, just gently bring your awareness back into the room. Can everybody hear me okay in the back? Is it okay back there? Thumbs up? Okay. Anybody notice any slight change in your experience from when you came in to just after that little arriving meditation? Anybody? One person. Cool. Glad it shifted for you. Cool. Anybody want to speak to that change? What did you notice? Please. More present. Just immediate awareness around here. Yeah, noticing that. Because it's like, okay, this is what needs to be. Or this is what is, yeah. And then yeah. 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 Sure. Yeah. So letting go of that sense of urgency to get to a meditation group. Yeah, yeah. I know that struggle. God dang it. Yeah. 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 Yep. 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 Focused on the out breath. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. 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 Noticing the release. I've heard a teacher say that is nirvana. That is liberation. Just the out breath. That's when you've reached it. You know? Think about it. Yeah. But still, yeah, coming in too, I sense that, and you spoke to it, the urgency of out there, and then coming in here, and we're sitting. Am I sitting right? Is like, you know, it's like, yeah, it's not so seamless, and especially when we're in a hurry. I don't know about you all, but it seems like every red light hits me when I'm in a hurry. It's like, what the fuck, really? Yeah. Yeah, I'm really into the exhale right now. Really into the exhale, you know. Been really busy the last month. Been really busy myself. Caught up in the busyness. Caught up in the doing. And so much that, you know, it's like I've been noticing more, and I just came off a retreat like about a month ago, I guess, and it was just go time right when I got back. And the goodness that was cultivated from that retreat is still there, but it just seems further and further in the distance. You know, you get some goodness here sometimes, right? And by the time, maybe even by the time you get to your car, it's like, where the fuck is it? Especially when we get home, right? You know, so hard to translate. You know, it's like the seamless practice that I feel like over time it's just become a part of my being, of just this mindfulness practice. It's not that I'm just like, oh, I need to really mellow out right now, because it's like when I need to mellow out, it's like mellowing out is the furthest thing. But I know there is a little bit sense, there's a different flavor to the stress, you know, my relationship to the stress, just from this practice of coming to groups like this, or going to retreats like I did. And you know, if I could reflect a little bit, is what I've been noticing, and what I really noticed is how out of my body I can feel at times. And that's one of the things coming here, you really sense into the body. It's like, whoa. And even to the part, like, breathing was, I've been noticing when I'm holding my breath. Anybody notice that? It happens a lot. Or that, there's breathing happening, but it's not really a breath. It's just like this, it's trippy. So I've been noticing, like, okay, intentional breath in and out. And that's been really helpful. Really helpful. And that's the basics of the practice. Sometimes teachers will speak to it, and there's books on it, and there's all kinds of stuff, about this huge awakening and liberation. If you follow this path, complete liberation. Maybe so. Maybe so. And without it being a goal, can it just be like, maybe so, And I do feel like the liberated moments are when I notice that I'm not breathing intentionally, or I'm really like bracing. Those are the liberated moments. The liberated moments are noticing when I'm stressing out, driving to a meditation group. The liberated moments are the moments that I'm getting a text saying, "Are you coming?" And I'm like, oh, I thought it was 5:30, not 5 o'clock, to something that I had planned. Not planned, but was a part of. Those kind of moments. In relationship to self. And it starts by coming to groups like this. It starts by just showing up for yourself in a different way. The practice, it's a practice, the practice. Practice makes progress. And there's definitely great tools in different modalities that can guide you in this practice of inner liberation, freeing ourselves from the difficult emotions and thoughts and the stresses of life. But it doesn't free us of them. There's a difference. Keywords of and from, right? Still stress, still worry, still doubt, still all these mistakes. But freer from the reactive states that they can snap us into really quick. Or the spirals. The subtle ones, or even the sneakier ones, are the worst, because they sneak up on you, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh my God, I'm in this habit again, And this out-breath for me today was a big day for this project that I've been doing. It's been almost 2 years in the making, really, a year of like really putting this project together. And today it was released, and I was just like, because I've been fucking caught the fuck up. Been caught up, in something that's supposed to be fun. But I get a little controlling. And I want things to be done a certain way. So yeah, I'm feeling but at the same time, I'm feeling like, okay, how can I be in line with this practice that it's paved a path to so much goodness and so much ease in my life. How can it translate in all parts of my life? Even the stuff that, I enjoy doing, how can I just be in it rather than trying to control it, things still need to get done, yeah? It's not like we're just like, okay, just spiritual doormat. It's not all good, But how can we communicate, and how can we be honest with ourselves? And I think I need to be honest with myself sometimes. And what can I let go of? And I have done that. But I think, sometimes we have things that the ball's just rolling, and even when we wake up and, oh man, my relationship to this thing is like pretty unskillful or whatever, but the ball is rolling. We gotta And I'm speaking of like projects or stuff that we have to do, you know. It's like, this is really taking me away from some goodness that retreat or meditation, you know, life, relative reality, people, places, things. And I'm super rambling right now. I just wanted to come in and just meditate for an hour with you guys. But I didn't want to be, you know, too selfish and give you something, a little bit of my experience. But the basics of mindfulness is what I would love to do tonight. I would love to practice with you. And my sense of practicing with all y'all is that you all know how to do this, even when the mind is saying you're doing it wrong. You know, I do guidance, but I feel like y'all could just do it. Yeah? You know, in a lot of ways, you know, I started this group so that I could have a place to practice with people, you know? And I enjoy offering. I enjoy when people get turned on by meditation or mindfulness. It's like, oh, there's some shift, and I can see it, and it's just like, there's something in me that really connects with that. So it's not that I don't enjoy doing this, you know, offering. But I can even get caught up in that, right? I need to offer the best thing for y'all. You know, it's like, no. Just a pointer and a messenger to the goodness that is in you already. You know. And it is nice to not have to go into this bad neighborhood alone sometimes, yeah? So that's why guidance is good sometimes. But tonight I was thinking maybe we just do basic mindfulness, basic practice of finding an anchor, finding a place to bring your awareness back to when the mind is drifting, especially into some sticky places, things that we have been through, things we're trying to forget about, especially when the mind's going into things we need to do or don't want to do. Can we just note that that's happening, that thought is happening, but reminding ourselves that the thing isn't happening right now, right? The content of that thought isn't happening right now. And is it useful right now to be thinking about this? That's one thing I ask myself a lot. Is this useful right now? Especially when I set a timer here to do meditation. Is it useful? And maybe it is. Maybe it is. But can you have clear discernment around that? If there's like, there is an insight around something, like, you know, usually for me it's like, this isn't that big of a deal, especially right now. Or, I don't really need to stew on what I think happened or didn't happen right now. You know. So noting the thoughts and just coming back to your anchor. And when I talk about an anchor, it's a place just to bring your awareness back to when the mind is drifting. Say anchor like a ship drifting off to sea. Thoughts, emotions. Come back to the feet, the seat, the sounds, the breath. A place that feels good enough just to rest, even if it's only for a moment. You get to choose. And maybe you can rest a while there, but usually it's a fleeting moment, and then you're in another thought. But when you notice you're in that thought, that's the practice. You label that and come back. You return. Feet, seat, sounds, breath. You can leave your eyes open. You know. And that's the basics of the practice. And it does a lot for our nervous system. It does a lot for our nervous system when we bring our awareness to the senses. Kind of like what you're saying, when Matt was saying, it's like out there we're just like, but then we can refine, and it's like, okay, here's the sounds right here, seeing, okay, it's like this front part of our brain that's just fight, flight, or freeze out there can relax for a moment. When that relaxes, the emotional part of our brain relaxes. So just doing that is good enough. And the mind isn't our enemy. And the mind isn't our thoughts. We can't control the mind. Maybe some people can. But we can train the mind to not be so squirrely. And we train it by focus and awareness. Where are we shifting our focus to? Where are we bringing our awareness to? Focus on the feet, awareness to the feet. The mind will follow. But if we come in and we're just in emotions, we're focusing on the way we feel, or we're focusing on a thought, the mind's just going to be spinning out. But when we can get the mind more fluid with awareness, feet, seat, sounds, breath, it should be more in a flow. And then eventually, the mind isn't so spiraling out, and then maybe you have the capacity to be with a difficult feeling in a different way. Not a reactive state, more of like, okay, that's here. Can I be with it? Can I let this thought just come and go? Can I be with this feeling? And you get to have choice. If it's, I can rest here, just allow it to rise and pass like it does. Or it's like, no, it's there, okay, back to the feet. You get to have choice. You don't have to get stuck in the suck of your emotions. And that's the basics of mindfulness. Great foundation. To relax the nervous system, to set up a container that you can explore the difficulties of this human experience. And you can rest, or maybe even, I don't know the word I want to use, but be with the joy that naturally arises too. Because there is joy and happiness that is here too, The practice with that is not clinging to it. Because just like everything else, it comes and goes. So we appreciate the joy, the happiness when it's here. Everything rises and passes. So let's practice together. I'm going to do light guidance tonight. Is that okay? Okay with everybody? Just going to invite us once in a while to check in, And the key too is when you're coming back, like you find yourself in a thought, the key is like, try your best not to judge the mind for thinking. That's what it does. It's been doing, right? So of course you're in that thought. You go, oh, thinking again. All right, come back. Oh, of course that feeling is here. It's difficult. It's heavy. Okay, what else is here? Or you're in some dream or fantasy. It's like, oh, that was pleasant. Let's come back to the feet, the seat, Acknowledge. Acknowledge when there's a pleasant sensation happening. Try your best not to cling to it. It's the hard part. As soon as you cling is when you suffer. Just saying. All right. I think I confused you enough. I think that's all my words. I always have a sense, too, of this can be a place where you can maybe find a little sanctuary or just a little reprieve from your day. So, see if you can listen and just trust your intuition of what you might need tonight. Maybe you need a little bit more focus. If you wanted to do some, really practice on just focusing on your anchor. Finding a posture that is upright but not too uptight or rigid. But also, this reprieve, this refuge can be a place that maybe is a little softer for you tonight. Maybe you want to lay down or slouch, I don't know, put your feet up. You get to choose. There's no right or wrong way. There's just a way that feels leading to some ease or compassion, kindness to yourself. And this liberation, this inner freedom, doesn't come from the perfect posture. Or some fleeting mindful state that we try to find or achieve. My experience, and I believe that this liberation comes from just meeting yourself right where you're at and trusting in the goodness that is here waiting for you, this wisdom that is right here. And can we just maybe practice effortless awareness? Just taking note of what is being experienced right now. Noting a sound, a taste, a smell, a sensation you feel in the body. Noting if the breath is coming in, going out. Taking note. Noting when there's a thought. A plan, a memory. Noting a feeling, an emotion that may be present. And just shifting your awareness, your focus to a place in your direct experience. It feels like a place that you can rest. Rest the awareness. Let the mind rest. This could be the breath. This could be the way the feet, the body, connecting, points of contact, touch. It could be a sound, something you see, taste or smell. Ideally, a place that doesn't have a big story for a lot of opinions. Can you notice that story? You can label it. Story, liking, not liking, pleasant, unpleasant, somewhere in between. And just maybe watching this flow of the breath, this maybe sense of urgency in the in-breath, and that soft release in the out-breath. Can you imagine the breath just filling in all the nooks and crannies in this body? And this out breath just softening and releasing any tension. And if you can just rest on a place that feels good enough, beautiful. Or just gently returning when you notice you're drifting off in a thought. Remembering that practice of just labeling, thinking, and returning. Feet, seat, sounds, breath, something you see. Reminding yourself, reminding the mind that right now, there's nowhere you need to go. Right now, in this moment, there's nothing you need to do. Right now, in this moment, there's no better you need to be or become. find the mind really chewing on a thought. Maybe even ask, does this need to be taken care of right now? If there's a feeling that's attached to some thought, some memory or plan, can you just be with the sensation of that feeling for a moment? The heaviness, the swirling. Or just acknowledge, label it, and return back to your anchor, back home. The feet, the seat, the sounds, or the breath. You can really notice. We bring our focus, our awareness to the breath, this coming and going, this beginning, middle, and an end of the in-breath, beginning, middle, end of the out-breath. Sounds, beginning, middle, and end, each sound. Sensation. When we let go of opinions or preferences, we can really notice the coming and going, the impermanent nature of all things, even the thoughts, even the emotions, the feelings. So rising and passing, coming and going, if we allow them. And what's left is that part that sees it all, witnesses, allows, responds rather than reacts, letting go just by letting be. new sensation do you feel now? What's something interesting? What do you notice? Is there a little bit of compassion and non-judgmental awareness when you find yourself in that thought? Return back to the feet, the seat, the sounds, the breath. Or are you just noticing that there's just a lot? It's hard to just rest, to allow. Of course. But no matter how many times or how stuck you get in a thought, it doesn't mean that you're doing this wrong. It's an opportunity to practice letting go and returning. Or an opportunity just to be without reacting, just responding with awareness. Wisdom and compassion will naturally arise in time. Maybe you're already responding, even if you don't know, even if it doesn't feel that way. Just being with what is difficult is compassion. You're doing great. You're doing better than you can even imagine. Maybe just in these last few minutes of practice, maybe you can just let go. Let the mind think. Let the body move. What's the intuition now? What's the need? Maybe in these last few minutes, reflecting on some joy or happiness. Something you're grateful for. Just let yourself rest. Thank you all.